The British pair of Paul Sydenham and Terry Tinsley drawn against the Czechoslovakian holders of the title. That's Ivan Kukurek and Pavel Martinek. The Czechoslovakians bringing the thing to a halt.
And there we can see a wonderful standstill by the world champions there, and that really is a most difficult thing to do. They waited till they crossed the first compulsory lap, and then they put the British pair out in front. And standing still on a bicycle when you're on your own is one thing, but trying to do it with a teammate is quite another. And so, with the British pair, Paul Sydenham and Terry Tinsley in front, Sydenham there talking to Tinsley, advising Tinsley all the time exactly where the other pair are. And the man at the back, called the stoker, well, that's Paul Sydenham. And on the front, Terry Tinsley from St Helens, a very, very tough and determined man. The man behind provides the power, and the rider in front provides the skill and expertise and guides his tandem around. It really takes a very courageous man to sit at the back in a tandem sprint. So a little bit of speed in the lovely sunshine at Leicester today. 2.5 laps to go to the line. Czechoslovakian world champions here in second place. In all, the great winners of the tandem series, 6 times world champions since 1966. And of course, the most famous pairing of them all, winning 4 titles, Vladimir Vakar and Miroslav Vizmazal. And what a great shame it is that this discipline in cycling was dropped from the Olympic Games in 1972, because this really is and can be one of the most exciting. But look at the sweep now, the Czechs have gone inside, now the acceleration, and the British read that well, and there was a clash there, and look at the front wheel. Terry Tinsley dropped too soon, look at that wheel. How is he going to hold it upright? Wait for the crash, he's off the track. Oh, this is a brilliant piece of riding by Tinsley to hold that track. What an excellent piece of cycling that was, and if we can take a look at that again in the replay. And now wait for the move here by the Czech. There's a flick of the front wheel now. The British riders on the inside. The British riders then move up and the Czechs come down. Tinsley sees this well, drops in. Well, look at the Czech tandem coming back above the red line, and that is a fault of the Czechoslovakian team, hitting the front wheel there of Tinsley and ripping out all the spokes. And that, really, look at that wheel. How on earth Tinsley is holding that tandem straight is a wonder to us all.
The British boys lost the rerun, but through a repechage found their place in the quarter-final. There they were beaten again, but once more there was an opportunity to go further through the repechage.
2 of the 5 laps gone in this repechage of the amateur tandem, and it's the British pair at the front, Terry Tinsley and Paul Sydenham, with this last chance to qualify for the semi-finals. Behind them, the Polish pair, Konkolewski and Platek, and at the back from France, Kloarek and Depin.
And in a 3-up heat like this in tandem racing, the team at the back certainly got a great deal to do if they're going to come over the other 2.
Terry Tinsley, the Liverpudlian, at the front of the British machine. He'll watch for anything, and he's a real rough and tumbler. And the Poles trying to push them out of the way, and in the end the Polish pair had to give ground, and it's Tinsley and Sydenham with a handsome lead, and they're trying to win this from the front. The bell's gone for the last lap. Can the British pair hold that position? The Poles are coming and the French are coming round the outside. But Tinsley and Sydenham are in the winning position if they can hold it, and they can. Yes, they get there. Terry Tinsley and Paul Sydenham of Great Britain, winning that with courage and determination to go through to the semi-finals. And they wouldn't be inhibited by the Poles, who came alongside them at just before that final lap. There was a bit of pushing and shoving, and you can't do that to Terry Tinsley because he's a tough scouser and will not give ground.
Well, Terry Tinsley and Paul Sydenham told me actually that if you do get the front full bore, it takes a very, very good tandem pair to come over the top of you, and I think they proved it there.
Well, this is the moment when Terry Tinsley decided he wasn't going to let the Polish tandem get in front of him, and he closes the door on him, gets a push against the shoulder, and that means nothing to Tinsley. He'd completely ignore that. In fact, it's probably an incentive to him to pedal even harder. And look, they open up a big lead over the Poles. And in the end, it's not them who challenge, it's the French who come round the outside and who look as though they're going to push the British pair all the way to the line. Sydenham, the eyes at the back, looking bound to see where the others are, shouting instructions to Tinsley at the front, who keeps his head down and dives for the line. Round that finishing bend, the French are coming round the wide outside. The Poles are there too, but none of those have got the strength to get up and get ahead of the British pair.